Good afternoon and welcome to Body Slam Your Ears. I am Steve Fall, of course, with my co-host Issa. Issa, how you doing today?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I am doing okay. I'm currently having to use my Bluetooth because I am driving, but that's okay. I'm styling and profiling, and so was Jeff Hardy last night on AEW. You're jumping in right now, folks. Swan Tawny into the news. Jeff Hardy has signed with AEW. He is all elite, though. Let me ask you a question, Issa. You got any siblings?
Yes.
Okay. Now imagine you're getting your ass kicked by some of your enemies or people you used to work with, and suddenly you hear your siblings' music play, and you're like, oh, thank God they're here to save me. But before they come to save you, they decide to do a little jiggy and dance in the aisleway to get a quick pop and then come save your ass. That was hilarious.
First of all, if it was my case, it will be the other way around. My sister will be getting killed, and I'm dancing by the rampway, not caring about her getting killed, because that's just how we are. But I thought that was so funny. I was like, why? It was funny too, because as soon as he debuted it, like, I felt bad for Matt Hardy leading up to the moment, right? And I'm sorry, Jeff Hardy signing with AEW was the worst kept secret of the last month. But I was like, I thought they did a good job at gaining sympathy for Matt Hardy. But as soon as that music hits, I was dancing. I didn't give a crap about about Matt Hardy. I was just happy that Jeff was here.
Same. And, I don't think he was misused by the WWE, and I don't think he'll be misused by AEW. So it's just great to see another person out and about. People, newer, older fans appreciating Jeff Hardy more now than they would 6 months ago.
Yeah, and he looks so legitimately happy. There's a picture going around of just Matt just embracing him, and the smile on his face. It was a beautiful moment. I have a soft spot for the Hardy Boys, and I do tend to believe that they belong together. So I just love seeing them together, and I hope that they get a run as a tag team. WWE kind of did it on the beginning, and then they split them up, and it was just heartbreaking. I want to see them together.
Yeah, that was a bit heartbreaking, and I think it's because the idea of a tag team is always going to be one star that can level up, and the other one is there to help the mid-card. It happens to everybody. Hart Foundation, the Rockers, the British Bulldogs. It's kind of Edge and Christian, Dudley Boys, and the Hardy Boys, obviously, because if you have to ask yourself, who do you like more, Jeff or Matt, you're always going to see Jeff.
No, I like Matt.
Matt more than Jeff?
Yeah, I do.
Holy crap! Breaking news.
I'm one of the rare ones, but yes, I like Matt Hardy more than I like Jeff Hardy. But it's funny because I guess in the ring, I think Jeff Hardy is more talented, but I just think that Matt Hardy is a creative genius, and I just appreciate how he does his gimmicks and keeps reinventing himself. I love entertainment, and I just think he's so entertaining, especially the Broken. Once he did the Broken stuff, he won me over for real.
Yeah, that got me back into Impact. That whole thing, I was like, wait, what is this storyline?
Yeah. Oh, God, that was so good. I have never watched Impact in my life, and here I am watching the Broken segments. That shit was so funny. The deletion, remember? Oh, my God. I got to go back and watch it again.
And, you type in Matt Hardy on Twitter in the GIF section, and all you get is Impact Wrestling GIFs of him, yelling delete or yes, all these funny things that he was doing in Impact Wrestling, and that's kind of what got the Hardy Boys back in the WWE. They were doing some extreme creative work.
Yeah, they went into the excursion of gold, won the tag teams in pretty much every company there was but WWE. That's why it was such a big deal when they showed up at WWE. And I remember chanting delete, chanting obsolete. I was there at Raw, I was there at WrestleMania when they showed up. People wanted to see that gimmick in WWE. They waited way too long to try to do it, and then they just didn't do it right. WWE, I love them, but they can ruin something that's super cool anywhere else, and then WWE gets a hold of it, and they manage to make it uncool every single time.
It's like when you're. No, I know what it is. It's like when you're into a band and suddenly your parents get into the same band. That band no longer is cool.
Yeah. You're right. You're right about that. I don't know. It just felt. I liked him with Bray Wyatt. I did. And they did that whole resurrection thing in the compound. Like, they did a couple of really good things with Matt Hardy in WWE, but it was never anywhere near what he was doing at Impact. It wasn't. And the whole thing, remember, they have Maxwell, you have Ribeye like playing the piano while he was coming out to the ring. He just felt larger than life. I remember singing, I'll classify myself as obsolete. That was, I want to see that again. I'm sorry. Those were some of the best times I had in wrestling. Please do it again. AEW, I'm begging you.
I don't know how you redo it again. You know, it's like writing the best song you've ever written in your life and trying to go do that again. It's very hard.
Well, listen, apparently, I haven't seen it yet, but apparently the Batman is managed to give us an amazing Batman, which I thought would be impossible after The Dark Knight. So you never know. You never know. I got to go see it for myself, but I have heard great reviews about it. So I do think you can remake something and make it cool again. I'm not asking you to do the same thing either, right? But I don't know, with them having all of these YouTube shows and vlogs and all that, I just really want Matt Hardy to break again and figure out a creative way to run him and Brother Nero back in some kind of way.
Yeah. Well, you brought up the whole thing with Matt Hardy and the deletion universe in the WWE, and I think it's because the WWE didn't actually want to spend money on the idea of it, and they were like, yeah, you can do this, but you're on like a Halloween store budget. Not a Six Flags, Disney World, Universal Studios budget of a horror house. You're gonna get he has a couple pennies.
But do you think that that's the issue? Because God knows they didn't have a lot of budget with Impact. It was him and his wife who managed to film most of this and edit it. But Impact, I don't think this was a money thing.
I think it was Impact went all in. WWE did not want to go all in.
That's what I'm saying. I think Impact says, okay, you film it, do whatever you want, to where WWE was like, we're not going to give you money, but we also need to help you with the script or approve what you're going to do or what you're going to say. You know what I mean? Where we're Impact, they were like, okay, we're not going to give you money, but we're going to let you do whatever the fuck you want. You know? So I think that's the big difference here.
Well, speaking of money, the fact that Tony Khan and AEW put out the money, I've read the story already from Fightful, that they actually purchased that Hardy Boys music.
Yes.
They actually purchased a whole block of songs, and that's the Hardy Boys music, Hardcore Holly's music, and Crash Holly's music, all purchased because I have heard the Hardy Boys music on like a race car commercial. I have heard Crash and Hardcore Holly's music on weird ass teasers on Spike TV. So the fact that the WWE never put out the money to buy those things is a shot in the foot on them, and I love them to pieces.
Oh, yeah.
But you sometimes
and it made that Jeff Hardy
it's insane.
Debut, it made that Jeff Hardy debut so much better to come out to that music. Which I gotta say, thank you, Tony Khan, for not announcing it. Look what happens when you just let things happen. The moment was so much better instead of people just saying, "Oh, of course it was Jeff Hardy. He didn't make a big announcement for that." I have to say, Steve, I don't know if you watched the whole episode. Last night's episode of Dynamite might be my favorite episode yet. It paced perfectly. It was exciting. There was a lot of storylines that moved. There was a lot of in-ring action. We had title change, had debut promo, Jericho turned heel. What an amazing episode of Dynamite. I was like, holy shit, what is happening? Who booked this? Because it was perfect.
It was Tony Khan.
Well, I guess his balls finally dropped as a booker and learned how to fucking book a show. Because that was fun. I had a great time watching Dynamite last night.
No, I haven't had a bad time watching it recently. I think they've been on. I think they've been pretty good.
But you know what? Now that I think about it, the majority of the things I love involve ex-WWE wrestlers.
Thank you.
Outside of Scorpio Sky winning because I don't like Sammy Guevara, everything else that I enjoyed was Regal with Mox and Bryan. I love Chris Jericho. I love the Hardys. So now that I think about it, maybe I'm just watching WWE 2.0 and that's why I like it now.
Well, I'll tell you what. Today I woke up with a thought and I tweeted it, and boy, did it set off a fire on my Twitter account. And
I know what you're talking about. I quoted it. Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, you did? Oh, no. You've added more eyeballs to this horrid thing that's happening. Yes. I put out the tweet, and I don't have my phone like in front of my face because I'm driving, but I pretty much asked, hey, you didn't like these WWE wrestlers, but you like them in AEW. Like, do you not like the company WWE no matter what? Like, what is the confusion of like AEW? You just brought it up. AEW's turned into like a WWE, but also has, you know, your indie darling. So really, like, who do you not like? Do you not like WWE on purpose? Do you like the wrestlers? Like, I'm confused.
Yeah, I quoted it and I say, hey, I like both. If you have a problem with that, come fight me, because I have issues. I've seen podcasts like quote some of somebody quoted one of my tweets. You know how a lot of times I tweet sarcastically, right? Like I don't mean what I'm saying. You know my humor. I have dark humor. So sometimes I'll tweet something out and people will be like, oh, I can't believe this girl from wrestling media said this. And I was like, bro, you took my tweet seriously? So I like both, and I am critical of them both equally. Just as much as I praise them, I am critical of them. We have sat here on Buddy Slam Your Ears on an episode where I just shit on AEW, and today I am giving it its flowers. I feel the same way with WWE, but I found myself, and even the people that I enjoy in AEW, when I look at my favorites outside of NJF and Britt Baker, a lot of the people that I'm enjoying are ex-WWE wrestlers. There are very few of the AEW originals that I like. I don't like Sammy. I don't like Darby. So, you know what I mean? Like when you look at the pillars, the only one that I like is MJF and Britt Baker. And they are so WWE oriented. These two are entertainers. I don't care what you want to say. The MJF and Britt Baker are entertainers.
Of course. Here's the tweet. Fans say they don't watch WWE but watch AEW. Well, currently AEW has a large amount of former WWE wrestlers. Do you not just like the brand WWE? I'm slightly confused. That was the tweet I sent out, and that set off a wildfire of comments. And a lot of people, well-thought insults at least. You know what I mean? Like, at least they weren't like, you're a piece of shit. They wrote a paragraph of how I was wrong or how I was right. And guess what? I will respect your opinion any day of the week. But if you just are like, hey, you're a dumbass, that's not really...
I can't stand that.
I don't care. That carries no weight.
Like the other day, I said something critical about the AEW, the women's match. And I told you I wasn't happy with the women's match at Revolution, the Britt Baker and Thunder Rosa. And somebody commented on my tweet or my video, I can't remember where, and they were like, well, you sell half-naked pictures online. I'm like, what the fuck does that have to do with me stating a fact that match was booked? Oh, it's because I said it was booked very WWE. I felt like I was watching WWE when I watched that match because the distractions, right? Did that not feel like a WWE match? Thank you.
Yeah, we talked about that.
They'll bring up like a personal insult. It's like, explain to me, like smartly, why do you disagree with me? And we can agree to disagree. But when you get personal because somebody, you're stupid, you're a dumbass, you're ugly, because we don't have the same opinion of a wrestling, that's just dumb. You're getting ignored. I'm never reading your comment once again, ever.
Right. And I'm not on anyone's side when it comes to arguments over personal attacks on Twitter, because I have no idea sometimes the arguments that people having. A lot of screenshots are popping up on Twitter lately of people just insulting somebody and then someone saying how bullshit that is. And I'm like, hey man, I don't know your beef, so I'm not getting in the middle of it. I'm not going to comment on you hating this girl or you hating this guy. I don't know why you don't like each other. But guess what?
Yeah.
You don't affect my fucking life. I still go to work. I still want to put my pants on one leg at a time, you know?
You still have a beautiful family. That's what I try to tell people. People, if you're listening or watching us on YouTube, understand that real life is hard. Wrestling shouldn't be. Wrestling should be our escape. Wrestling should be a good time. There's no need to attack each other. I just retweeted a news report that Matt Jackson from the Young Bucks said that wrestling had the most toxic community. And I'm like, you know what? He's not wrong. He's not wrong. I don't understand why we can all just enjoy it. And there's different kind of wrestlers. There's also different kinds of fans. It's fine if people don't share your opinion. Is all I'm trying to say here. Jesus.
Yes, of course. but I think people don't understand. Like we talked about Jeff Hardy. Now we're on something else completely. But I just think that wrestling believes wrestling is the most toxic because you're inside the toxicity. You don't think Marvel movies or you
It's
don't
not as
think
bad. I
politics
no, I
is the
follow a lot
most
of different
toxic?
communities. I follow baseball because I'm a big Yankees fan. I follow a lot of their stuff. The horror movie community because I'm a big horror movie geek. And I'm telling you, like, there's other sports that are up there, but the one that I have always gotten harassed for something stupid is always been wrestling. Which is funny
Well,
too, because it's all keyboard people. I've never had a negative interaction in person. When I go to an event and people recognize me, it's always nothing but, "Hey, can I take a picture? Oh, I know you. I need to take a
well,
picture too." This
yeah.
and that. Like, I'm like, if you hate me, listen. I don't have. Maybe it's because I'm Puerto Rican, but if I say something online, I'm gonna say it to your face. Like, that's just how I am. You know what I mean? So I don't know. Maybe people are scared. I'm no pussy. That's what I'm saying.
Well, I would also say for that note is no one wants to walk up and have a confrontation. So literally, if they don't like you on
Oh,
Twitter or
I
your
do.
opinion about a
I
wrestler,
do.
you think they're gonna walk up to you and be like,
I wish.
6
I wish.
months 6 months ago, you said you didn't like Sammy Guevara.
I still don't. I
So
still don't. Listen,
you
I
know,
wish, but not everybody's like me. I wake up in the morning and I said, I wish somebody fuck with me today because that's just the kind of attitude that I have. But I guarantee you, not everybody's that way, and I respect that. But
no,
I don't give a fuck. I'll fight anyone,
no.
anyone,
I wake
anywhere. I
I
don't
wake
care.
up and go, oh, I'm so tired.
No, I wake up in the morning and I choose violence every day.
Oh my. Well,
But you know,
are
if
you
we're ever
happy?
at a wrestling event together, I got your back, Steve. I'll fight anyone that you need me to fight.
Thank you. Nobody wants. Only one person wants to fuck with me, and I'm not going to say his name. So because he'll direct message me, and he'll be all angry at me. Yeah, but all in all, I think Jeff Hardy in AEW is fun, but yet I don't like the argument of like, well, he was misused or he didn't do what
No,
he was
he
supposed to do, and
wasn't.
da da
No,
da
he
da da.
wasn't.
It's like, no,
He
Jeff Hardy,
wasn't.
like this
Jeff Hardy
is
was
just
in
Jeff
the
Hardy was done.
Yeah, he was in the IC title picture. He was in the United States title picture. He was putting on banger matches. Like the crowd was. I remember when he was fighting Priest, and everybody wanted him to fucking win. I was like, yo, this feud is not helping Priest at all because everybody's rooting for Jeff Hardy here.
Yeah.
So yeah, overall, I don't think that WWE. I think WWE misused Matt more than they misused Jeff.
Oh yeah, 100%, of course. But
Yeah.
like obviously they want to keep the Hardy Boys together, and then WWE's like, nah, we want Jeff to be the star, and Matt, go do whatever you need to do.
And
That's what they
obviously,
wanted
it
to
didn't
do.
help that Matt Hardy's contract was up way earlier than Jeff because of Jeff's injury. He got all that time added onto it. So a lot of the time that we saw Jeff, Matt wasn't even part of the company anymore.
Right, and I'm still curious on what the hell happened in that 6-man tag where he just in the middle of the match was like, you know what, I don't want to work here anymore, and just went off into the crowd and took pictures with people.
Listen, I don't know what happened, but I envy him. I wish we all had the balls to just fucking say when you're fed up with something, just be like, you know what, I'm done, and just walk out right then and there. Like, doesn't matter what situation it is, whether it's a job, whether it's a wedding, whether it's a family reunion. Like, there should be a moment where you're just sitting there contemplating, why am I here? And you just up and go. Like, that's big dick energy right there.
No shit. Well, obviously, but also he's like I'm assuming he's hopefully he has saved his money. He's a millionaire, I hope. So it's
Right.
like what's he walks out on some money. He's like, well, I already have a nest egg. I have a giant house. I have a family. Shit. Like,
Yeah, it's like, what's the worst thing that can happen? They make me sit out my contract. I guarantee you, Jeff Hardy's body will appreciate him sitting out the rest of his contract because this man, God knows, is beat up from all the crazy shit he does. But he looked so great last night. He looked so happy, and I'm always here for the Hardys being happy, regardless of where they're at. We talk about people who are draws, who are not draws. I can tell you, I think the Hardys are a draw because I have followed them to companies that I never even watched before they got there. I know the Hardys are a draw, and I will support them in AEW.
and also congratulations on Impact Wrestling for last night after Jeff Hardy made his debut. They tweeted out, Brother Nero, I knew you'd come. Check out the Broken Saga, the best of the Broken Hardys, available now on Impact Plus. Don't ever get Impact Plus, by the way. Use their YouTube.
You made me get it, and I hated it.
I didn't make you do. I didn't take your credit card, and I didn't know.
You told me to get it, Steven.
I did. I made a mistake. I did make a mistake. And Impact, I love you so much. But at the same time, Impact, for so many months, you didn't realize you were airing your pay-per-views for free on your Impact Plus app. Oh, God.
No, but I think that is a genius thing of Impact to do, because I gotta tell you, every once in a while, I take people back to that video if they didn't watch it for whatever reason. That is one of those. Actually, I should do a watch along. I should go back, because I haven't watched it in a while. Maybe I should do a watch along on my channel of that amazing work that the Hardys did in Impact.
There you go. There you go. You can get the link on Impact right now, but use YouTube. Do not use Impact Plus. I'm sorry, but it's not good. People give Peacock crap. Bah! I throw Peacock in your face. I slap you with my Peacock.
Helicopter Peacock.
Thank you. And on that note, folks, the show is over. Thank you for listening to another episode of Body Slam Your Ears, sponsored by the NYC Demon Diva YouTube page. I've been Steve Fall. She's been Issa. We are leaving before I get fired, so we're going to end the show the same way we do every day, and that's with a lovely, lovely thing. And what do we say to the people?
I am going to change it up today, and I'm going to say that I'm about to fade away and classify myself as obsolete. Adios.
Adios.